So the first one is break-even analysis. So this is one of the applications for simultaneous equation. Why? Because for a break-even, kani siyang break-even manggod, uh, kanang applied ni siya sa kanang kuan sa business nga field. Pasabot ani sa break-even is igo ra jud ka nakakuan ba marag quit sa ang tanan. Kay ang break-even iyan ni siyang gi-compare ang gitawag nga ang una is the total cost. So since business man so we're dealing with money, so iya gi-compare ang total cost and then ug ang total sale. So if we're going to graph this, okay, kung ato ni i-graph sa Cartesian coordinate system, let's say mana siya mo ang Cartesian coordinate system, and then ang ato ang kuan ani sa ato dire, let's say this one is the y-axis is the amount of money, whether cost ba na siya or sales. So na may join. Okay, so man tong graph ato siya i-graph ang ato ang x-axis, this is the quantity sa imong gibaligya. Let's say you have a product, so this is the quantity and we're going to label this one as x. Okay, so mana siya quantity. Now for total cost, balik sa total cost since we're dealing with money and this is business. So for total cost, that is we're going to abbreviate this one as TC. Total cost is equal to sa business, 'di ba? If nakay let's say magnegosyo ka og kanang chicharon. So first is magtukod jud ka og kanang kuan, 'di ba? Magtukod kag building, kag establishment, mo palit ka og kuan, mo palit ka og mga kanang mga machinery para pang kuan or mga pangluto ba sa imo chicharon. So of course unsa may tawagan nga cost man gitawag nga initial cost or fixed cost. So you have fixed cost, buta to FC. So fixed cost plus since nagnegosyo naman ka, so from time to time as days passed by, syempre nadyo kay maintaining cost, so na kay variable cost, VC variable cost. So mo siya ang ato ang equation for kanang kuan total cost, that is the sum of the fixed cost. Since kung mag-start ka og kuan kung mag-start ka og business, syempre nadyo kay kuan. Okay, good morning po Mr. Kapolak. Okay, so kung mag-start ka og business again, nadyo ka ani fixed cost kay magbayad man ka sa kuan. Bayad ka sa imong building, then sa imong mga lutuanan para sa imong chicharon. Of course, ang variable cost man siya magpayad ka og ingredients kada adlaw para makaproduce na pug ka og ingana nga amount. And then ang total sale class, the equation for total sale is we're going to label this one as TS. Total sale is equals to, of course, you have the price, di ba? That is, let's say, price multiplied by the number of quantity. Okay? The number of quantity kung pila imong gibaligya or pila may baligya. So for total cost pod, we can express this one in terms of quantity. Okay? So total cost is equal to, of course, fixed cost. Di naman kuan kay fixed naman na siya. So this is a constant value, fixed cost plus. However, for variable cost, let's say kung mag-produce ka 5 ka chicharon, so siguro kanang 5 ka pack sa chicharon ba, so you need maybe kanang 2 to 3 kilos of meat. So kada adlaw mapalit ka ana para makaproduce ka ana nga amount of kanang packs, chicharon packs. So therefore unsa may formula for the variable cost in terms of pila ka packs nga ma-produce nimo or quantity nga ma-produce nimo sa chicharon. Unsa man class? Na may idea? Unsa man ka ni? So kaning variable ko ansa. Let's say if naka chicharon, okay? Let's say naka 5 ka chicharon. Sa pag-produce og usa ka chicharon, of course, na ginay cost, di ba? Di ba namay cost ang usa ka pack sa chicharon mag-produce ka niana, of course, na ginay corresponding nga cost. Let's say magpait biya kag karne ana, mantika o unsa pa mga ingredients. So man mga variable cost kay syempre magasab-usab ang ang presyo sa kuan ang presyo sa kilo sa baboy sa merkado. So mag-vary ni siya. So therefore ang formula for variable cost is uh, the number of quantity nga imong ma-produce, okay, that is x. So same sa total sila, x multiplied by the cost, okay. So tarang butang cost per amount or cost per quantity. Let's say nakaproduce ka og 5, o niya ang cost sa paghimo anang 5 ka chicharon is tag Gs. So therefore ang imong variable cost is 50. Okay? And then if we're going to graph this total cost and total sale, let's say our y axis is this one is for the amount. Okay? So this is in, let's say this is in peso, and then our x axis is the quantity ha. So let's say pila imong ma-produce nga chicharon. Now the total cost, of course, as you notice, di ba, mura ni siya ang total cost of linear, di ba? This is a linear equation. Why? Because you have your dependent, okay? Your dependent here is the total cost, and your independent here is the x, the amount, the quantity kani siya. Quantity. Muna siya imuhang independent. So if we're going to graph this total cost, so don't mind with this fixed cost kay constant man siya nga mga number of ang cost pod. So if we're going to graph this class, unang-una gyud sa business, taas gyud ni siya. So since this is linear, assuming lang han nga linear tanan. Of course, in reality, kaning C diri is also a variable po ni. In reality ha, kaning cost per quantity is also a variable, but this time assume lang ta nga constant. Okay, constant ang ato ang kanang cost per quantity or the cost in producing a quantity of chicharon. Kay chicharon na to example dire. So if we're going to graph this total cost, this is a straight line. So ato i-graph this tong Cartesian coordinate plane, mangyan na siya. But actually, since we have fixed cost man, so fixed cost man ta, so more or less diri na siya. Let's say this is our fixed cost, okay? Diba, fixed cost FC. So this is our fixed cost. The fixed cost man siya ang value. So magsugod dira ato ang total cost. Kay total cost is the sum of the fixed cost. So this is the value of the fixed cost plus the variable. So ang variable na siya is already aligned. So nagana siya diri. So this is now the graph of our total cost. Total cost. Okay? Manay graph sa tong total cost, that is TC. And then, again ha, fixed cost. And then for our total sale, di ba? Imong halin sa kwan pa in layman's term, halin ni nato. So kung pila imong price kada chicharon, imo na siya i-multiply sa number of chicharon nga imong na-produce. Okay? So unang-una gyud, of course, kung wa ka chicharon, wa pug kay total sale. So therefore mag-start na ang atong total sale sa 0. So start siya sa 0 dire. Start siya sa 0. And then magkanam siya increase. So daghan nakaghalin, manam siya increase hantod mo takdo siya sa imong total cost nga line. So this now is the total sale. Total sale. Okay. So since we are talking with break-even nga analysis, so in this analysis pod natay gitawag pod ani nga break-even point. So di ba kato ang giingon ninyo ganiha nga when we say break even, pasabot ana is marabag igo ra gyud naka kuha or in kan pa marag quit tanan. Kay ang pasabot aning break even is dire marakag wala kay kita ani pero di ka alkansi. Nasabtan ninyo like nag-spend mo og kanang 20 pesos, so ang inyo na po nakuha is 20 pesos, so mararagwa wa ka na alkansi, wa po ka nakaganansya. So nakuha na ninyo. Are still following? So based on our graph, kana ang istorya ninyo nga kanang break even point, kanang igo ra gid siya nga I mean dili gid igo, like kuan ra kanang wa siya nakuha unya di pod siya alkansi. So asa man diri dapit nga part sa atong graph, asa maka gitawag nga break even point, like na quits ra tanan ba, ang iyang gasto equal ra pod sa iyahang halin. Asa makadapit diri sa graph kaning asa man. Okay, nganong naaman sa intersection, nganong nakaingon mga nga nasa intersection. Okay, sakto. So very good. So mana siya ang gitawag nato nga break even point. So meaning ana, since this is a function of the quantity, so naa dra ang gitawag nga xc, that is the break even quantity. Meaning kung mag-produce kag ingana day nga quantity based sa imong total cost nga line o total sale nga line, meaning mo ni ang trend sa imong negosyo maybe for a year, so mag-analyze ka, so makaingon ka, uy, kung mag-produce ra ko ingani day ka chicharon, quits ra, so maka-attend day ko og gitawag nga break even quantity, meaning wa ko na alkansi pero wa pog ko'y ganansya. So sa business, asay mas idea like above the break even nga quantity or below? Ngano man? Okay. Okay, so sakto. Kay ang goal sa business is makaginansya ka syempre. So asam di ang gain ini. So based on this graph, so wait lang na I may join. So based on this graph, syempre tao ka kung mag-produce ra ka kaning break even quantity, wa ka mara kag kuan ka. You're just wasting your time, hago-hago lang ka. So ang goal gyud nimo ani is dapat maglay ka diri nga area, because this area determines your something nga area. This determines your profit. Mana imong profit, because the total sale minus sa imong nagasto minus total cost, that is your profit. But this one, unsam ning area diri class kaning sa ubos, sige daw. This one, unsam ni siyang area diri unsam ni diri? Ini kuan? Ini idea kaning ubos. Meaning diri dako si total cost kaysa ni total sale. Unsay pasabot ana? Okay, this is your loss. Meaning kansi ka. Alkansi ka diri So again, alkansi ka diri pag abot sa gitawag nga break even point, dira quit ra pug ka. Wa ka na alkansi, wa pug kay nakuha. Pag mulapas ka sa break even point, mo ni nindot, this is kanang kuan, mo na siya pinaka nindot nga kanang kuan point sa imong business, kay mo profit naman ka. Tungod kay may profit ka since ang total sale is already greater than with your total cost. So nganong nagtudlo mo ka ni sa inyo. So ang kani magong break even analysis, applied ang ato ang simultaneous equation. Why? Because in this particular application, we have how many equations involved? Di ba? Natay duha? Oo, I mean kanang in this kanang kuan kani siya nga example duha kani total sale and total cost. So we have here two equations. Di ba in our lesson 1 we discuss simultaneous linear equation in two unknowns. So this is two equations since we have total sale and we also have total cost. And total sale is a function of quantity and total cost po si total cost function also of the quantity. Sa ato example, chicharon. So we have two equations, automatic, we also have two unknowns here. So, magamit nato in order to solve for this xc. Diba kung inyo nakuan sa tong simultaneous equation, we have unsa itong ato ang kanang kuan gitawag natay gitawag nga solution, di ba? Mo na siya mo satisfy sa ato ang given equations. So here, if we have two equations, then if we have a consistent and independent solution, meaning kung naatay solution sa ato ang duha ka equation, makaingon ta nga kana siya nga point or kana siya nga value that is the intersection of the two equations. So meaning if ato ni i-solve ning duha ka equations, okay, ato i-solve, we're going to find their unknowns, kaning unknown ni total sale o unknown ni total cost, then makuha ta ning duha. Kaning kuan value sa iyang x mo ning break even quantity o ang gitawag po nato amount kaning let's say we're going to label this one as p. This p is known as the break even price. Okay, that is the break even price. So di ba sa atong lesson 1 kung nakainomdom pa mo, di ba kung katong nag-solve ta og mga simultaneous equation into unknowns, let's say we have our first kanang kuan, we have our first equation, then we have our second. Okay, we have our second equation. So, di ba, ang ilang intersection is the solution. Di ba, nakinumdum pa mo? So, mo na ato ang solution. So, therefore, in solving problems involving break-even analysis, so ato gamiton ning ato ang knowledge from the simultaneous equation that we're just solving the unknowns. Kay pag solve na to sa unknowns, kung unsay answer, mao na siya ang ato ang break-even nga mga values. That is for x, that is the break-even quantity, and then for y, that is the break-even price. So, nasabtan ra ang concept sa break-even analysis. Okay, so proceed ta aning first example for break-even analysis. So here, naadili ta, ingon ta nga a printing company bought a $20,000 printing machine and 5,000 book binding machine in order to produce 5,000 books per month. The cost per book is $10. What would be its selling price in order to just equalize their total cost and income per month? So here, ang pangalan sa company is kaning kuan, I mean, the nature of the company is a printing company. So, nagprint sila mga books. So, ato isuwat ang given para dita maglisod. So, here, the given, tutag-sagsaon. So, kani siya, yung palit daw kuno sila og $20,000 nga printing machine. So, ibutan nimo $20,000 that is for cost of kanang kuan printing machine. The next kaning $5,000 for book binding. Of course, kung maghimo kag libro dapat na kay book binding machine. Kay mao man ay magkuan sa mga pages. Magbind sa mga pages. So book binding machine. Next, para daw, so ilan ning gibaligya, para daw makaproduce sila og 5,000 books per month. So therefore, that is our quantity, di ba? That is X. That is the quantity. Okay? Quantity. So, ang quantity yan na produce is 5,000. 5,000 books per month. Next, the cost per book. So, we're going to indicate that one as C. So, ang cost daw per book is ate butang cost per book. That is $10 each. Okay, $10 each. Then, ang gipangita, the required here, is the selling price in order to just equalize their total cost. So, ato i-label as SP. This is the selling price. Okay, so solution. Ato na ikuan. Anya. So, solution. Here, ato sa i-classify ang mga kanang given. Diba ganiha akong gipakita sa inyo? Kato ang kanang kuan, kato atong discussion on break even. Ato i-separate kung asa ang ato ang kanang total cost. So, total cost. Diba kay we're dealing with total cost and total sale. So, total cost. That is TC. TC is equals to FC plus, diba, the quantity times the cost per quantity. Here, unsa man ka atong possible nga fixed cost sa atong given. As what I have told you, ang fixed cost mo na siya ang kanang imong initial nga cost ba sa pag-establish sa imuhang kanang kuan company. So asa man ani? Okay, sakto kanin $25,000. That is the sum of the cost of printing machine and the cost for book binding machine. So therefore, our fixed cost here is $25,000. And then plus ingon siya ang quantity daw nga ma-produce niya per month is 5,000 books. Okay, 5,000 books per month. So imo yan plus here 5,000 multiplied by the cost. Do we have given nga cost per book? Di ba na? That is okay, $10. So put here $10. That is for the total cost. Okay? That is for the total cost. So here, ato ikuan TC is equals to, so ato na siya ikuan, ato na siya i-simplify yung total cost. So dapat para di ka maglibog sa break-even analysis, so inganaw nimo imo sa ikuan, imo sa isuwat ang equation for both total cost and total sale. So we have 25,000 times plus 10 times 5,000, so we have $75,000. That is the total cost niya in order to produce 5,000 books per month. So mana iyahang gasto $75,000. That is the total cost. And here, kung nyo napansin class, ang atong total cost is not ikuan. Dili siya function of the quantity. Okay? Dili kay ang quantity diri kay dili man variable, known man ang quantity. So therefore, ang total cost nato is not an equation but a constant value. That is $75,000. So next, we have the total sale. For total sale, that is TS. So TS is equal to the selling price. So mamay gipangita, that is SP multiplied by the number, the quantity of books nga gisold. So that is 5,000 books. So 5,000 times SP, selling price. So this would be the equation for our total sale. Okay? So naana ka ni ani total cost and total sale. ang sunod natong buhaton, so naay mi join. Sunod na to buhaton diri, diba unsa man asa nga part sa problem ang nagpasabot nga break even ni siya. Unsa nga statement asa diri ang nagpasabot nga break even dai ni siya nga kuan problem. Namoy nakita? Okay, sakto. Tungod aning giyang gingon nga in order to just equalize their total cost and income per month. Meaning, ingon diri, equal ra ilang nagasto sa ilang halin. Okay? Sa ilang income, sa ilang halin. So therefore, wa sila ginansya, wa po sila nalugi. Pasabot ana, break even. So, to achieve break even or to break even na lang aning situation. So di ba ang sa tay ako ikuan ang sa tay condition that is the total cost is just equal to the total sale. Okay? Kaya if we're going to graph this, ato siya i-graph. Ato i-graph ha. This is for the quantity and this is for the price. So quantity here, ito yung nga x lang. So ang atong total cost diri nga curve, the total cost, I mean, di gid siya curve di line ni siya. Total cost is at $75,000. So here, mo na siya atong total cost here, straight line kay constant man. Mo na si total cost. And then for total sale, that is a function of the selling price. So that is selling price, kaning price. So therefore, nag-ana ni siya. So ato ikuan diri total sale diri. So for total sale at zero quantity, of course, kanang wala kay sale. So kung increase ang number of quantity, okay? Increase the number of quantity, so ana siya mo increase hantod nga musugat siya ni total cost. Okay, hantod musugat siya ni total cost. So therefore, ang ilang intersection, this is our break even nga point. Okay, break even nga point. So therefore, what we need to do here, sakto atong claim nga ato equal ang total cost nga line og ang total sale kay if we're going to equalize this, ato ma-solve ang ilahang kanang break even nga point. So let's do that. So we have total cost is equals to total sale. So our total cost here is $75,000. Mo na iyang nagasto. Equal ra pud sa iyang income. Mo ning total sale. So that is selling price. That is 5,000 times the selling price. So divide by 5,000. Okay, so pila man? Okay, $15. Sakto. So therefore, kailangan di ay kung gusto ra sila nga igo sila kuan ba kanang quits ra. So ang ilang selling price ani nga libro is $15 each. Now, nganong importante man ang break even sa business? Tungod kay mao ni siya ang gitawag nga baseline. So di ba? If na kay basis, let's say, uy, kailangan di ay para makaginansya ta, dapat unsa may indication ani. Kung gusto mo makaginansya, dapat ang selling price is unsa man. Based sa atong nakuha answer. Okay, so more than. So mao nang importante gihapon ang kaning break even bisag sa inyong pagsabot is, uy, this is not a good condition sa ato ang kanang company. Yes, sakto mo nga dili siya maayo gyud, but that would serve as a baseline sa inyong pag-set sa inyo yung selling price para makaganansya mo. So maybe kung gusto mo nga medyo makaganansya mo pero nagyapon mo palit, kay of course di po ka makaingon nga imo po gining patasan ang price, mag-agan po ka sa customer o sa trend sa market. So therefore more na imong baseline. Let's say maybe tag 20 lang, $20 per book. So maginansya na ka. So kung wa kay knowledge ni ini, pataka lang kag set sa imong price per book. Let's say mo i-set og 13, automatic lugi na jud ka because $13 is below our break even nga price, that is $15. So ingin ani ra sa class. Actually kani siya since kuan man ni siya, engineering economics man siya, so namoy kuan ani, please ayo gini kalimti kaning break even analysis kay nani siya sa inyong higher subject, engineering economy. Okay, so walay pangutan ni. Okay, so let's proceed to the next. So okay, dirita. So here we have a shoe company invest $300,000 in equipment to produce a new line of athletic footwear. Each pair of shoes cost $5 to produce and it is sold for $60. So how many pairs of shoes must be sold before the business breaks even? Okay, so what na punta sa given. Okay, we have here $300,000. Unsay pasabot aning $300,000? That is man. That is the cost of equipment. Okay, fixed cost pa na siya. Okay, so cost of equipment, that is $300,000. So ang kanyang company is a shoe company, so naghimo sila mga athletic footwear. Of course, pag-establish nila, dapat mo gasto sa sila og $300,000 para sa tanang mga equipments. So here, each pair of shoes daw cost $5. So that is the cost per pair of shoes. So that is $5. The next, ila gibaligya. So that is the selling price. So selling price per pair of shoes, that is $60. Muna lang pagbaligya. So what is the required here? Required. So how many pairs of shoes daw must be sold before the business breaks even? So that is the XC. That is the break even quantity. Okay. So solution. So here, same ra gyud itong procedure. So let's start with finding the equation for the total cost. Okay, total cost na punta. So for total cost, that is TC, is just the sum of our fixed cost plus the variable cost. And we know that the variable cost is the product of the quantity, so that is X, the quantity of athletic footwear nga ilang gibaligya, multiplied by the cost per athletic footwear. So that is the cost C. So here, since we already have a given, so cost of equipment, this is our fixed cost, the initial cost, then cost per pair of shoes, this is our cost per pair of shoes. So substituting this in our equation for total cost, that is, this one is $300,000 plus the cost per shoe is per pair of shoes is $5 times X. So that is 300,000 plus 5x. This is the equation for our total cost. Now let's proceed to the equation for the total sale. So total sale. So unsa man to atong equation gali class sa total sale, that is TS. That is unsa to? Kinamdam pa mo? Okay, that is the selling price multiplied by the quantity of X. And since the selling price is given, can you see SP $60. So we have here 60 times X. Okay, so we now have two equations, that is for total cost and for total sale. So next is assumption. So from the problem, gi-indicate man nga ang business daw kuno kay mo break even. So butang nato at break even. So di ba ang sa condition kung mag break even ta, that is the total cost, meaning inyuhang gasto equal pod sa inyuhang income, total sale, or inyuhang nakuan nahalin. So if we're going to graph this, okay, kuha ni i-graph sa atong Cartesian coordinate plane. This is our quantity X, this is the price or the cost. So ang graph ni total cost starts at $300,000. So si total cost starts at $300,000. So here, then pasaka. This is for the total cost. Next, for the total sale, still a line that is 60x. So nag-start gini si total sale of 0. So very it's a very long journey before niya makuha, kay since ang initial cost gud nato is $300,000. Dapat iya pa jud na makuanan. Iya pa nang abtan. So ato siya saka hangtod nga mo equal na siya sa total cost. So this is our total sale. So their intersection is the break even point. Okay, so therefore ang kaning X value or the amount here is known as our break even quantity. That is what we are looking for. So ato na-solve. So total cost equals total sale. The total cost is $300,000 plus 5x equals a total sale that is 60x. So this is a straightforward equation that is solving for one unknown. So yung mara transpose to the other side. So we now have 60x minus 5x is equals to $300,000. So this is 55x is equals to $300,000. Divide both sides by 55. So x here is equal to pila man? 5,454. Okay, that is 5,454 point let's say 55 na lang. Okay, pair of shoes. Pero na ko question ani. Okay. So mapo na ako ang kan. So now a question. Unsa man kay kanang answer niini? Is it kay di ba wala may point nga kuan nga butang unless kung tunga kay tunga sapatos. So lisod po kay that is impractical. So therefore, na two possible answers na ini. Either you're going to round this one up. So that would be pila man? 5,455 or down 5,454 lang. Okay, so unsa man kay answer? Unsa man class? So sa uban, since kani siya although ang iyahang solution is sayon, but dili ta maglisod sa pag-analyze sa final answer. How about the others? Dili mo choose kani ba or ang ubos? So ingani ni class. Kung maabot siya og 5455, unsay indication ani? Naka break even ba or humana gyud? Like hinglapas na sa break even point or wala? Hinglapas. Okay, og lapas na meaning humana, meaning naka break even na. How about 5454? So, before break even. And unsay gipangita sa problem? Specific. Must be sold before. Okay, before. So, unsay ato ang final answer? Oh, 5454. Okay, so, yan na ra. Para di mo maglibog, kay basig na imo 5455. So, kaning 5455 class, humana ni. Ang business, him break even na humana. Pero pasabot ani, since na humana man, ang break even, na siya gamay ginansya, pero gamay jud gaya like 0. Kung ato na siya kuanan mga 0 kabot 1%. So ang best answer niini is since gi-indicate man rin nga before the business breaks even. So that is 5454. Okay, nakuha ra? Okay, so sa inyo pong pag-answer ani, kung maingon siya nga how many pairs of shoes must be sold in order to break even. So walay mga before, after. So ang ideal ako i-suggest ninyo is you are going to ang safest is you are going to round up. Okay, kay mo ani narungan during samon time ang uban dadto kay ilamang gi round down. So ila lang gi fix lang. Let's say if you have 5454.8, so ilang gi 5454 pasabot ana wa pa gid na ka break even. Ang gipangita man sa kuan, gipangita man sa kanang problem kay maka break even man. So therefore imong patasan i-round up nimo since wa man poy kanang butang nga point something, di ba? Ang butang kay whole man gina siya. Kuan na siya natural number man na siya, counting number man. So therefore dapat may point. So always round up kung pangitaon ninyo og break even nga quantity. However, for price, ayaw i-round up ang price ha. Kaya na price nga point something. Di ba? Nagets ninyo? Okay, for price, kinabi break even price. Okay, dili lang break even quantity ha. So kaning atong intersection, napo na siya value sa yang break even price kani. Pila imong selling price pod para maka igo ra pod di ka malugi, di po ka kansi. Wala po kay madawat, so that is PC. Break even price. Okay, napo na siya. For break even price, exact gitong decimal point. However, for the break even quantity, so always round up. Kung wala gi-indicate nga before or after the business breaks even. Okay, so walay pangutana ni. Okay, walay pangutana, then proceed ta sa geometric problems. So for geometric problems, actually broad man kay ni siya, daghan pa kay niyan. Anyways, don't worry kay kani pud siya nga topic is ma-covered mo pud ni siya sa kanang next for module 10. So, ang geometric problems class, applied gyapon din ni ang simultaneous equation because sa geometric problems, if we're going to if we're going to interpret each condition nga naka-state sa atong problem, maybe sa atong pag-interpret ana or pag-transform nato ana into a mathematical expression, maka-generate og either two equations, two unknowns, or three equations, three unknowns. So here, we have a sample geometric problem that states that the perimeter of a rectangular floor is 38 meters and its area is 60 meters square. Find the dimensions of the floor. So, going out nata sa business, nata diri sa engineering. So, given. So, the perimeter of a rectangular floor, so nara tayo rectangular floor. Say mo na siya atong rectangular floor. So the perimeter P is equal to 38 meters. And then its area is 60 meters square. So area is equal to 60 meter square. Find the dimensions of the floor. So required, that is the dimension. And since this is a rectangular floor, unsa ra gyud dimension sa rectangle? Unsa dimension sa rectangle, class? Okay, length times width. Sakto, length and width. So mana tong gipangita, length and width. So here, kay ba nga siguro sa inyo, I know you already have a knowledge on kanang formulas for the perimeter and area of a rectangle. So diba this is the length. So the length is the longer side and the width shorter side. So here, since natay perimeter and area given, so maybe we can derive some equations that will relate our length and width with respect to the perimeter and with respect to area. So let's start with the perimeter. So perimeter. For a rectangle, unsa may formula sa atong perimeter, class? P is equals to unsa man? Unsa tay formula sa ato ang kuan? Ato ang rectangle? Okay, 2L plus 2W, or di ba ang perimeter is the total enclosure of a certain kuan, of a certain kanang geometric shape. So this is a rectangle. So imo ray add ang enclosure niya kanang length usa, width usa na pud ka length, usa na pud ka width. So basically ang ana ra gyud ang perimeter, class, imo ray add ang iyang kanang kuan enclosure niya. So here we have 2L plus 2W. And we know that the perimeter is 38. So that is 38 is equals to 2L plus 2W. Now, if I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/2, so natay 19. 19 is equal to length plus width. So this would be our equation 1. So natay equation. Since we have equation 1, we can easily kanang kuan natay ma-observe ni ini nga diri naatay duha ka unknowns, length and width. So possibly we require at least another equation so that we can solve that one. Di ba? Kay if we have two unknowns, at least naa kay two equations. So since naapalantay equation 1, so we need another equation para makasolve ta sa kaning unknowns nga length and width. So since napatay usa ka given nga area, so that is for area, we know that the area of a rectangle is unsa man to? Area equals class. Okay, length times width. So sakto, length times width. And since given naman itong area, that is 60 square meters, so 60 is equals to length times width. So this would be our equation 2. So isolating these two equations, so starting with perimeter, so we have 19. 19 equals na siya, or atay unag suwat sa left side ang mga variables. So length plus width is equals to 19. Then we have length times width is equals to 60. So here, di ba naman tayo mga methods akong ipakita sa inyo, we have in solving for this simultaneous equation. This is a simultaneous equation in two variables. In solving this, daghang tayong mga methods. We have method of elimination, substitution, graphical. So here, I suggest nga mas better di ang method of substitution. So using method of substitution, so from equation 2, so we have here length times width is equals to 60, I'm going to divide both sides by w, so that we have an expression for length that is equal to 60 over w. Okay, if we have a value for our length in terms of w, then this one, we can use this. Okay, magamit din nato kani siya nga expression para i-substitute sa equation 1, so that in equation 1, in terms of length na lang. And then we can easily solve for the length. So, aton buhaton. So, from equation 1. So, we have here length plus width is equals to 19. Now, we're going to substitute length that is in terms of width. So, we have 60 over width plus width is equals to 19. Now, multiplying both sides by w, we have 60 plus w squared is equals to 19w. Now, rearranging this so that we can achieve a quadratic equation. So, we have w squared minus 19w plus 60 is equal to 0. So, ang result niya is a quadratic equation. So, therefore, we have kanang two possible values for our w. Now, ma-factor ba ni siya? So, kung ma-factor ni, then factor it manually. Kung di mada, so use na lang quadratic formula. Sa inyong calculator, pwede pod. So, I think ma-factor man. So, di ba 60 is kaning 60, ma-express man ni ang 60 as, di ba, that is w minus 15, di ba, ang factor sa 60 is 15 times 4. W minus 4. Sakto ba? Agree ba mo? Okay, di ba? 15 times 4 is 60 man. So, and then 15, negative 15 plus negative 4, negative 19. So, therefore, we have two equations here. I mean, two roots, two values for w. So, w minus 15 is equals to 0. We have our first one, w1 is equals to 15. Then, w2 is equals to 0. I mean, w2 minus 4 di. Can you see, w2 minus 4 is equals to 0. So, that is w2 is equals to 4. So, since we have kanang two values, so, ato ni siya i-substitute ari sa ato ang expression kaning for length. Okay, for length. So, ato ibutan diri. So, we have length is equal to, the first length is equals to 60 over w1. So, length 1 is equals to 60 all over 15. The answer here is 4, di ba? Okay, 4. For the second, that is length 2 is equals to 60 all over w2 is 4. That is equal to 15, right? 4 meters and 15 meters. So, therefore, we have two solutions here. So, the first one, ati ko na, our solution. Our solution here is, the first one is length equals 4 meters, width is equals to 15 meters. This is the first solution. The second one, we have length is equal to 15 meters. The width here is equal to 4 meters. Again, if you're going to check both of these solutions, mo verify sila, mo sakto gid sila. Kay 15 times 4 is 60 and 4 times 15 is equal to 60. But diri since dapat imagine i-analyze kung sige best aning answer, kay for me narigi usa gid ka answer nini. So based on your own analysis and understanding, and also based sa required sa problem, what is the best answer? Is it the length is 4 meters and the width is 15, or maybe ang reverse, that is the length is 15 and the width is 4? Asa man ka? Nga naman. Okay, sakto. So sakto gyud. May gyud pagka-analyze. So ang ikaduha gyud, dili ingon nga patakataka ra mo nga okay, maybe duhay answer ani. So please scrutinize gyud sa imong solution nga makuha. Kay this two solutions valid man gini siya. So dapat usara gyud mo sakto ni ani. So kani ikaduha, since as what I have told you, the length should be greater than the width. So di pwede nga ang length nimo kay 4 meters, ang width nimo banin dako. So meaning i-reverse nimo. Maybe that 15 meters is your length and the 4 meters is your width. Okay, so way pangutan ani. So tricky kani siya, although sayo na siya pero masayop mo basig maduha ninyo ang answer ani, so wrong gihapon. So walay pangutan ani. Wala na class? Okay, so let's proceed to the next. Still geometric problems gapon siya. So here, the length of fence required to enclose a rectangular field is 300 meters. Then what are the dimensions of the field if it is known that the difference between its length and its width is 50 meters? So again, given na punta. So the length of fence required to enclose a rectangular field. So again, rectangular field gihapon. Rectangular field. So is 300 meters. Okay? Meaning, unsa may pasabot anang kaninga statement, kaning first sentence. Unsa may gi-indicate kaning the length of fence daw. That is unsa man? Ang katason daw sa pagkural ni ani, say pasabot ana, is it the area or unsa man? Ang length raman. So meaning the perimeter. Okay, perimeter. So ato butang perimeter, that is the length of the fence required, di ba? Enclosure akong gikuan from the previous nga slide, from the previous nga slide kadtong kuan. Yung ko nga ang perimeter is the enclosure of a certain geometric shape. So here, ang perimeter daw is 3,000 meters. So 3,000 meters. Next, what are the dimensions of the field if it is known that the difference between its length and width is 50 meters? So we have here a conditional statement. So part of the given. So the difference daw between its length and width, that is L minus W is equal to 50 meters. So this is a conditional statement. And required here is same ra gihapon. That is the dimension. The dimension, length, and width. Okay, so let's solve this problem. So tibotandri, we have here the longer side, the length, and the shorter side, the width. Okay, so here, solution ta. So, first is for the perimeter. So, perimeter. Again, unsa toy formula for perimeter? Perimeter is equal to, sa to class? Okay, sakto. So, 2L plus 2W. Then, perimeter nato is 3,000 is equals to 2L plus 2W. Then, multiply both sides by 1/2 para ma-reduce nato ang coefficients. So, we have here 1,500 is equals to length plus width. So, this would be our equation 1. Next, since we have two unknowns, so at least we require another equation para ma-solve na nato ang atong unknowns. So, since we have a second conditional statement nga given, kaning the difference daw of the dimensions is 50 meters, so we can say that L minus W is equals to 50 meters. That is our equation 2. Now, isolating both of these equations, ato siya ibutang ari, that is length plus width is equals to 1,500. This is from the perimeter, and this L minus W is equal to 50 meters. This is for the second condition. So akong gikuan nga ang difference giuna na si length, syempre kay if unahon si width, ang answer kay mag-negative. So dapat L minus W. So here we have two equations and two unknowns. So we can solve this by method of elimination or method of substitution. But for me, sa ako, straightforward diri is method of elimination. Since kung na-notice ninyo, if we are going to add both of equations, na ma-eliminate. Diba? Napansin ninyo? Ma-add ni, ma-cancel ni si W because they have opposite signs. So what's left is we have here 2 length is equals to, i-add ni mo ni, so 1,550. Divide both sides by 2. So the length here is 1,550 divided by 2. That is 775 meters. So this is our length. How about for the width? So just substitute this value of length either of these two equations. So solving for width, solving for W, so I'm gonna use equation 1. That is L plus W is equals to 1,500. Length here is 775 plus W is equals to 1,500. Transposing on the other side, so we have here W is equals to 1,500 minus 775. Our width is, so 1,500 minus 775, that is 725. So mas dako gyud si length, 725 meters. Now if you want to check this, so pwede po gamiton sa equation 2, that is the length is 775 minus the width 725, the answer is 50. So therefore na-verified na to. So our final answer here is length is equals to 775 meters and the width is equal to 725 meters. Okay, naklaro ra class? May pangutana ni? Nakuha ra. Okay, kung nakuha, then let's proceed to physical problems. So for physical problems, apply din siya sa physics. So more on velocities, acceleration, then kanpod katong acceleration due to gravity, time, and distance. So di ba in your senior high school, di ba kay na naman may subject sa physics? Wala ka? Unsa rin strand? Okay, so siguro sa inyong high school, di ba naman mo? High school ninyo? Okay na. So siguro familiar naman ng mga velocity, that is distance over time. So here we have a sample physical problems nga nag-involve siya og kung ato na siya i-interpret, maka-derive ta og simultaneous equations. So here, ingon da diri, with a tailwind, a small Piper aircraft can fly 600 miles in 3 hours. Okay? So ipasabot aning tailwind. So let's say mo na itong Piper aircraft. So may tag tailwind class, in travel ang atong aircraft along with the wind. Okay, meaning ang hangin na siyang luyo tailwind. Okay, so nasa luyo. So with a tailwind daw, iya makakuan siya ang time nga matok niya to travel 600 miles is just 3 hours. So let's say ato butang diri mo ni ang starting point, then this is the 600 mile nga distance. Okay, so kana siya iya ra na ma-reach ra na niya. So ato ibutan diri, that is T1, that is for 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours. And then against this same wind, so unsay pasabutan ng against this same wind, meaning kung pabalik na pud siya. Okay, kung pabalik siya, so let's say diri ana, ito i-drawing ha. So kung pabalik siya, meaning same ra gyapon nga distance na imo diri, at the same distance, it will take him 4 hours. Okay, so sorry, mali ang orientation sa atong direction sa wind. So ato ibutan diri gyapon ang wind direction. So nana siya atubangan. So diba, nakatry na magpabugsay sa inyo ha, kung siguro na may sakayan, nakasakay mo kanang sakayan, diba, mas lisod ba ibugsay kung against the current ka. So same po na ani, kung along with the current ka, so mas dali siya ibugsay tungod kay ang tubig pod mutabang mo pod nimo og push. So the same thing with this one. So kung magdagan ang ato eroplano sa babaw, kung nay hangin, dili lagi kayo ingon nga bagyo kay lisod na po kay na. So here, kung naay hangin along with its flight, so mas iyang mutabang pod ang hangin og patud sa eroplano. So that's why mas mo paspas siya speed. Whereas kung mag-travel siya against the wind, so kadto ang katong hangin mag-cause to og drag, so meaning iyang pugnan ang pagdagan sa eroplano. So that's why mo decrease ang iya absolute velocity. So here ato ibutang ang oras na ani is madugay siya. That's why it took the Piper aircraft 4 hours to reach or to travel this 600 mile nga distance. So T2 is equals to 4 hours. Then pangita diri required. So ato ibutang required. Find the average wind speed and the average air speed of the Piper. So ang wind speed daw ko no, that is tibutan, that is Vs. This is the wind speed. And then tibutang Vp, that is the air speed of the Piper. Or in other words, unsa man ning gitawag nga airspeed sa Piper, mao na siya iyang speed kung walay hangin. Meaning speed at still air. Butang at still air, meaning walay hangin. So mao gina iyahang true nga speed kung wala lay hangin nga nag-influence niya. So here, unsa kay atong equation nga ma-generate niini. So we have two conditions here sa ato suwat solution. Since ato ma-predict nga ang atong required is duha ka variables, that is unknown variables Vs and Vp. Ito nakita ha, Vs and Vp. So automatic inyo marag ma-intuit sa inyong nahuna nga naman tay duha ka unknowns, so automatic duha pod ka equations dapat atong pangitaon ani. So let's start with the first one. So ato ibutang diri traveling along the wind. Okay, traveling along the wind. So unsa may kuan sa traveling along the wind? So pag travel niya sa ato ang kaning Piper aircraft, unsa may iyahang total speed ani niya class? Na may idea? Mitod man ang hangin. So unsa may in relation with their velocities, unsa may pasabot? That is unsa man na may idea? Along the wind man siya. So unsay kung ako mag-draw ko diri, kung mag-draw ko vector quantity diri, so let's say this is the velocity of the wind, so Vs lang, then velocity pod sa Piper. Then here pod ato ibutang velocity sa wind vs and then velocity sa Piper. So if the Piper is kanang traveling along the wind, unsa may total nga velocity or speed based sa kaning arrow ang gikuan, unsa may indication, unsa may operation, is it i-add nato or i-subtract? Okay, i-add, di ba? As you notice, they have both velocities are in the same direction, so therefore when the Piper travels along the wind, that is mahimo siyang vs. Okay, nagkakuan. Mahimo na siya og kuan, ma-add na ni. So that is vs plus vp, that is now the total velocity nga may travel siya, that is equal to the distance, di ba? The distance nga yang na-cover, that is 600 miles over the time. The time there is 3 hours. So therefore, to simplify, that is vs plus vp is equals to 600 divided by 3 hours, that is 200, diba? 200 mph. Again, ang abbreviation ng miles per hour is mph. So we now have our equation 1. So yan na class, mo na iyang condition kay diba? Na-notice ang po ninyo sa ato figure na ay duha ka condition. This is the first condition, this is the second condition. So out from these conditions, makaderive ta sa equation. So maybe sa inyong part, mo po ni ang pinaka mo ni ang challenging kay ang pag-set sa equation. Kung unsay condition nga na involved sa problem. So here, second condition is traveling against the wind. Against the wind. So here, unsa na may kuan class, unsa na may operation between the wind speed and the air speed of the Piper. Unsa naman class? Diba? Okay, subtract. So normally, unsa man nga pag-subtract, is it vs minus vp or vp minus vs? Unsa man? Is it vs minus vp or vp minus vs? Okay, vp minus vs. Nga naman, tungod kay mas saman, di ba? Mas mas paspas baya mo travel ang aircraft kaysa sa kapaspason sa hangin. Of course, kay kung mas hinay ang aircraft compared sa paghuyop sa hangin, automatic mapalid na ang aircraft. So therefore, ang atong pag-interpret ani is we have vp minus vs is equal to same gyapon ang distance nga traveled niya at this condition, so that is 600 miles gyapon, that is 600 miles in 4 hours. So meaning nadugay siya, so over 4 hours. So here simplifying, so we now have vp minus vs is equals to 600 divided by 4, so we have 150, that is 150 miles per hour. So we now have our equation 2. So nata equation 1 and equation 2, so we're good to go. Ato na ma-solve ang kaning unknowns. So ato i-isolate ang duha ka equations. So we have first equation, vs plus vp is equal to 200. Second is vp minus vs is equals to 150. So maybe ato ni siya i-arrange di ay. So ato ikon nga vp plus vs is equals to 200. This one is vp minus vs is equals to 150. So class, unsa ang method diri ang mas mas dali para ma-solve nato ang unknowns? Is it method of substitution Okay, sakto i-add. Okay, elimination. So sakto. So ato i-add, we can eliminate the VS, the speed of the wind. Mas zero ni siya. So therefore, we now have 2 VP is equals to kung ato na i-add, we have 350. Divide both sides by 2. So we have the velocity of the Piper. Okay. Velocity of the Piper is 175. So 175 miles per hour. And in order to solve for the velocity of the wind, so isubstitute ni siya either of these two equations. So let's say I'm gonna choose the first equation. So I have Vp plus Vs is equals to 200. So that is 175 plus Vs is equals to 200. So transpose on the other side, we have the velocity of the Piper that is equals to 200 minus 175. So Vs here is 25. So therefore mas gamay gid ang kanang speed sa wind, 25 miles per hour. So therefore mo na siya ang duha na to ka mga answers. The wind speed is 25 miles per hour and the airspeed of the Piper is 175 miles per hour. And kung gusto gyud na ninyo na nga ma-check, so i-substitute na ang VP o VS. So if we add 175 plus 25, the answer is 200. So that's why in equation 1 we have 200 miles per hour. And if we're going to take the difference of 175 and 25, the answer here is 150. That is the constant nga atong makit-an sa equation 2. Okay, walay pangutana ni so far. Wala na. So I think murag na sugatan na nato nga problem sa previous nga module. Na napunta ni katubang mga clock problem, age problem, rate problem. Kay kani pod siya rate problem po ni siya. So review lang pod ni para di nyo makalimutan ni siya nga concept. Nga ni siya and kani pod nga kuan problem napon ni siya mga similar problems katong kuan katong sa boat nga in-travel siya sa river upstream and downstream. So kung pa-upstream ka, against the current ka. So subtract imo ang velocity sa tubig. So kung downstream pug ka, i-add. Okay, so yan na ra. So wala na yung pangutana. Wala yung pangutana, class? Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. We have another physical problems but this time medyo this dani. This is the application of kanang kuan free fall. So we have here the height at time t of an object that is moving in a vertical line. So vertical motion is siya. Let's say we have here an object. So mingato siya sa babaw. So ato siya of course, di ba? Unsa man ang object ilaban niyo sa babaw, mo reach gyud siya at maximum height, di ba? Di man na mangadto forever gyud sa babaw. So nara man gyud na siya kuan maximum nga height. Ngayang ma-reach. So mana siya. Mo reach siya at maximum height. Then mo fall back siya towards the earth's surface. So mana siya diri. So here ingon siya ang kuan daw the height at time t of an object that is moving on a vertical line with constant acceleration a is given by the position equation. So kani s is equals to 1/2 at square plus v naught t plus s naught. So the s here ingon siya the height s is measured in feet. So s here is the height. So meaning ang height sa iyang paglabay maybe diri. So let's say this is our s. So we don't know. Ato lang gi-represent as a variable. So s is a variable. Acceleration is a variable. The time also is a variable. But our v naught and s naught define gihapon still variable. So here the acceleration a is measured in feet per second squared. T is measured in seconds and V naught is the initial velocity. So meaning mulabay ka og let's say bisalag bato, mulabay kag bato pataas, of course na kay gitawag initial velocity, that is V naught. Then S naught is the initial height. Okay? S naught is the initial height gi state pud ari. Okay? So ang gipasabot pud sa V naught, that is at time equals 0. So meaning V naught T diri is 0. Meaning mao pud ginay pag start gyud imong gilabay. Of course, ang initial height depende. Siguro gilabay nimo siya sa babaw sa inyong balay, so na kay initial height with respect to the ground. But that initial height class mag-agad na sa gitawag natong reference frame. Okay? Here in my example, my reference frame is here. Reference frame. Or we can call this one as a datum line. Meaning, kung green ako gilabay class, what is my initial height? With respect to this reference frame nga akong giset. Unsa may initial height diri? Class, unsa may initial height diri? Wala idea? Kani, gilabay na ako diri nga location. Unsa may S naught dira? Diba? Kay mao man akong reference frame, so ang height dira is 0, diba? 0 tungod kay mao man ang reference frame. Let's say ha, ang reference frame ingani ni siya class. Kung naa ka diri reference frame, mao na siya. And then if your object is here, your initial height is this one. So S naught. Tungod kay nara imong reference frame. But if your object is here, what is your height here? Your S naught here is equal to 0. Tungod kay naman siya sa imong reference frame. So yan ang reference frame class. Diri since mo man akong gidraw nga reference frame, so therefore the height there is kanang 0. So basically mo na siya ang ato ang S naught. That is the initial height. So ang initial height mag-agad na siya sa imong reference frame. So here ingon siya nga find the values of your acceleration, initial velocity, and initial height if S is equals to 52. So the S here is 52 daw. At T is equals to 1. Then S is equals to 52. At T is equals to 2. And S is equals to 20. At T is equals to 3. And interpret the result. Here class, medyo complicated ni siya. But normally, this is a application in physics known as free fall. When we say free fall class, this is a type of motion wherein a certain object is thrown upward. So vertical motion na ni siya class ha. Di ni siya ingon nga katong usa. Are you familiar with this type of motion kani? Class, are you familiar with this type of motion? Okay, so namaday. So namaday mo idea. So this is a projectile motion. Free fall is different from a projectile because projectile na siya ay horizontal velocity. Whereas for free fall, only vertical velocity ang naa. And then free fall is influenced by gravity G. So meaning class, asay pasabot ana kung influenced by G. Tanang butang as long as sagap siya sa Earth's gravity, kay mo unsa man. 'Di ba tanan ma-fall? Tanan ma-fall, tanan mo fall sa kuan, sa Earth's surface, 'di ba? Kung imo ilabay pataas, so ma-fall gid siya pabalik. So in kuan pa kung imo siya i-kuan, bisa pag mulayo pa na nimo, mubalik ra gyapon na nimo. Di bitaw joke ra. Okay, so proceed na. Pero unsa man class, unsa may butang nga kuan, unsa may butang nga kung imo siya I mean always keep on kuan ba increasing nya di siya mobalik. Di ba tanang butang kay kung imo ilabay mobalik man. So unsa may butang nga kung imo ilabay mo di na gyud mobalik, meaning di na mo ubos. Aside sa imong kuan imong x. Ah, oh, example po na, sakto po na nga kuan. So ayun na si x kay di naman ginapabalik once kuan na jud mo. So kanang x murag mo siguro na ang butang nga mobalik day ang uban ay mobalik. So kuan siya sa ako kanang ato edad. So atong edad di na gid na mobalik og kagamay. Always keep on increasing na gyud na. So mo nang kanang kuan live life to the fullest while you were still young. Okay, so balik ta. So here naatay daghang data but don't worry, inganin siya pag solve kaning mga klase sa mga problems. So this is a physical problem applying this free fall nga principle sa physics. So we have a given equation that is s is equal to 1/2 times the acceleration a multiplied by the time squared plus the initial velocity v naught times t plus s naught. Here naatay mga data sa atay lista atong mga data. Atong data ingon siya kung ang height daw sa bola kaning object is 52. So at s is equals to 52, ang oras daw anak niya, meaning after na gilabay, that is at 1 second. That is at 1 second. So meaning, grabe no. After 1 second, naka 52 feet na siya. So paspas gini ang paglabay ni man kay 1 second pa lang 52 na. So grabe ang increase sa height. Then, na-notice po nimo second data is at s is equals to 52 gyapon na. Ang time niya is at 2 seconds. Okay. Wa mo naglibog ani nganong man sir nga after 2 seconds 52 gyapon. So since this is free fall class, nay possibility nga equal lang imuhang distance at different times. Why? Because maybe yan niya pag-explain na niya. Maybe diri mo na imuhang height nga 52. Ang time dira is unsa man 1 second. Unya basin day after 2 seconds miana na siya. Mingatog babaw, balik ubos. Pag diri still the height is the same 52 pero lahi na ang time. So ingani ang situation ni tabo. So ay kalibog ani basig mo na mo pareha sila og distance nya lahi lagi time. So this one is possible. Then the third one is we have s is equals to 20 feet daw. Pag 20 feet daw, ang time na niya is 3 seconds. Meaning, based sa akong gidrawing diri sa figure, if this is t1, 1 second, this is 2 seconds, pag 3 seconds, may ubos siya. So maybe here, this is already 20 feet na lang before siya mo reach sa ground. This is t3. So, mo na atong nag-gathered nga data. And then, solve for, so ato ang required here, we're going to solve for the acceleration, velocity, and the initial height, s naught. So, pila atong unknowns na adri class? Class, pila ka unknowns? Ha? Pila ka buok? Again, putol-putol. Pila? Tolo. Diba? That is acceleration, initial velocity, and initial height. So, if we have three unknowns, pilay kinahanglanon nga equations para ma-solve nato ning tulo ka unknowns. At least, pila man? Okay, 3. So, based sa atong given, asa man to manguha aning tulo ka equations? Asa magha? Diba, we have three equations to find. So, asa man ka nato makitaan? Na may idea? So, naara na siya diri class. Diba, as you notice, we have an equation, a general equation. And from the general equation, we have S and T. Now, natay data. How many data do we have? Set of data. Pila ka buok? Okay. Kuan, tulo. So, therefore, if natay tulo ka data, so makuha na nato ang tulo ka equation that involves these three unknowns, di ba? So, let's start with the first one. So, first data. Data 1, from freefall, it states that at height of 52 feet, the time there is 1 second. So, therefore, from our general equation, we have S is equals to 1/2 AT squared plus initial velocity times time plus the initial height. So here, substituting the values of S and T, so we have here 52 is equals to 1/2 A times 1 squared plus V naught times 1 plus S naught. Simplifying, that is 52 is equals to mahimuning 1/2 A plus V naught plus S naught. This would be our equation 1. Actually, para wala tay fraction, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 para ma-eliminate na to atong fraction. So, that would become 104 is equals to A plus 2 V naught plus 2 S naught. So, this would be our equation 1. So, nakasunod na class? Nakasunod ra? Nakasunod ra class? Kasunod ra? Data 2. So, proceed ta sa next nga data. So, we have here S is equals to ito na erase. So, in the second data, so we have here S is equals to 52. So, our time here is equals to 2 second. Okay, 2 second na. And, ato na siya i-substitute sa ato ang general equation. So, that is general equation S equals to 1/2 AT squared plus V naught T plus S naught. So, our S here is 52. So, this is what 52 is equals to 1/2. Then, our A here is unknown man. So, ang T na to is 2 seconds. So, 2 seconds squared plus V naught times 2 plus S naught. So, here we have 52 is equals to 1/2. Then, 2 squared is 4. So, A times 4. Then, plus 2 V naught. Then, plus S naught. Then, next, we can multiply both sides by 2 para ma-eliminate ang fraction. So, we have Again, 104 is equals to this time mahimo ni siya 4a plus 2v naught plus s naught. So this would be our equation 2. So class, naka-follow pa mo? Are you still following? Okay. So for data 3, so ay katulong nga data kani dire sa ubos. Kana siya s naught ra. Ay, 2 s naught day. Oh, sorry. This is 2 s naught. Kay gi-multiply mi na tog 2 no. So thank you kani dire is 2 s naught ni siya. And then also this one, this is 4 na day. This is 4v naught. 4v naught kay di ba? Ato may gi-distributan og 2. So mana siya for equation 2. Let's proceed to data number 3. So in data number 3 we have s is equals to 20 and then our time there is 3 seconds. So again, using our general formula, we have s is equals to 1 half at squared plus v naught t plus s naught. So our s here is 20. So 20 is equals to 1 half a times 3 squared plus v naught times 3 plus s naught. So here, I'm simplifying. We have 20 is equals to 1 half a times 9 plus v naught times 3 plus s naught. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 para ma-eliminate na po ng fraction. So we have here 40 is equal to 9a plus 6v naught plus 2s naught. So this would be our equation 3. So sakto ba class? Wala ba sayop? Okay ra? So wala sayop no? So ato isuwat balik ato equation. So we have 104 equal to a plus 2v naught plus 2s naught. Then ikaduha is we have 104 is equals to 4a then plus 4v naught. So plus 4v naught plus 2s naught. So 2s naught, and then ang c is 40 is equals to 9a plus 6v naught plus 2s naught. Okay, so mani ato ang equations. 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So nasunod ra? Okay, so here we are going to solve this simultaneous equation. So kani siya kay di ba this is a simultaneous equation with 3 unknowns and 3 variables. So here ako introduce sa inyo ha ang gato ang matrix nga method. So para na mo yung knowledge po ato, tan-awon lang ako ang video for lesson 2 atong part 2. Kay kanit siya medyo dali ni siya og mas simple ra pod. So here we're going to use Kramer's rule. Naa ba may matrix sa inyong senior high? Class, na po may matrix sa inyong senior high? Wala. So, kung gusto mo mukato na ng Kramer's rule, so mato tanaw to kong video for lesson 2 part 2. But don't worry, diri apod ato pod i-review. So for Kramer's rule class, apply diri ang matrix. And in Kramer's rule, to solve for the unknown variables, let's say we have here variable a, v naught, and s naught. Sa Kramer's rule, in solving for A, simple ra. A is just equal to the determinant. So, when we say determinant class, mo na siya usa sa mga operation sa matrix. So, the determinant of matrix ni A pod, meaning ang matrix ni acceleration, all over sa determinant sa gitawag natog coefficient matrix. Okay, so maybe naglibog po mo ni ani, so aton ni siya tagsa-tagsaon. That is for A. And for the V naught, so ito, so what would V naught is equal also to the determinant of the matrix for variable V naught all over the determinant of the coefficient matrix. So same na sa denominator ha, bantay ang pattern. Now for the last variable, so S naught is equal to the determinant pod ni S naught all over sa determinant sa ato ang coefficient matrix. Now, actually class, you can have another solution for this one. Daghan kaning solution. You can have Gaussian or method of elimination or method of substitution. Ang method of substitution medyo crowded siya tan-awon, yeah, solution. But for Cramer's rule, if you know this, okay, mas madali siya. So, since naaman ta diri mga nagkalain-laing mga matrices, so we have matrix A, so to identify ha. Natay matrix for acceleration, matrix for the initial velocity, and matrix for our initial height, and lastly, matrix for our coefficient. So, para masolve na nato, ato tagsa-tagsaon pagpangita ang ilahang mga matrix. So, let's start with matrix for acceleration. So, matrix of A. Now, wala dyan mo na-discussan og matrix, no? Sa inyo, senior high? Wala good. So, again class, ang matrix, so, anyways, i-follow lang gito akong discussion sa kataong gi-upload. Ang matrix is composed of elements arranged in columns and rows. Mo gini ang matrix class mo na iyang forma gyud. Let's say that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So, ang size sa matrix is determined by the number of columns and rows. So here, unsa may size ani nga matrix? This is a matrix that has that has 3 columns and 3 rows, right? Sakto ba? Sakto ba class? This is a matrix that has 3 columns and 3 rows. That's why we call this one as a 3 by 3 nga matrix. Again, ang matrix kay nag-comprise ni siya og elements sa arranged in columns and rows. So, mana siya. And then here, for matrix A, unsaon nato pag suwat sa matrix A, given ang ato ang kanisiya, given ang ato ang equations, kaning tulo ka equation. Now, to write for matrix A, so matrix A, since ang matrix kay columns and rows man na siya, so here for matrix A, ang entries nato or ang elements nga naa sa column is the variables, the coefficients, so coefficient but since ang pinaka best nga mag-start is the coefficient di so di ta mag-start sa matrix for acceleration. Let's start first with the coefficient matrix. So unsa man ni ang coefficient matrix? So mas better good, especially kung kamo kay bag-o pa ninyo, so mag-start ta sa coefficient matrix C. And to determine the coefficient matrix C, imo siya i-arrange such that the first column should be the the coefficient for the acceleration, that is A, and then for A na ni siya, no? So this is for A, and then the second column is for V naught, the third column is for S naught. Okay, now in our matrix pod nga to ma-generate class, the size is determined by the number of unknowns. So since this problem, ang number of unknowns nato is 3, so ang size sa atong matrix is comprised of 3 columns and 3 rows. Okay, mo na siya atong column. Column for acceleration, column for initial velocity, and column for the initial height. How about for the rows, sir? So for the rows, the row 1 represents equation 1, row 2 represents equation 2, and row 3 represents equation 3. Now, dili na to isulat ang ilang mga coefficients. Again, coefficient alone lang ha, coefficient lang. So in equation 1 class, let's say mo na to equation 1, this is equation 2, and then this is equation 3. Okay, from the given class, unsa may coefficient sa A at equation 1? Unsa man? Okay, 1. So ibutan dire 1. How about for the velocity at equation 1? Okay, 2. How about initial height at equation 1? That is pila? Pila? Equation 1 ta class. Equation 1. Ang iyahang S naught. Ngayon 3 man. At equation 1. Dito sa equation 1. Kani. Equation 1 ta. Sa ato ang given. Okay, narahat 2. So 2. So put here 2. How about in equation 2? So we have for A that is 4, and then for V naught 4 gyapon. For S naught 2. For equation 3 we have 9, di ba? 9, next 6, di ba? Next 2. Okay, nasunod na ba niyo ang pattern? Nasunod ang pattern? Okay. So, after matrix, after the coefficient matrix, dito na ta mag-proceed sa matrix sa kada variable. So, next is matrix for the variable acceleration. So, same ra gyapon ha. 3 by 3 matrix gyapon. Then, but this time class, again mo ni ang catch. This time, ang imong atong color ani is since this is matrix A, tangtanga ang column nga naa ang matrix, tangtanga ang column for acceleration, then i-replace na siya sa kanang constant. So ibutan diri constant. So again ha, for matrix A sa acceleration, tangtanga ang column nga naa si acceleration, then i-replace siya sa constant. And then follow sa second kaning V naught. So kaning V naught and then S naught. Again, for row, equation 1 gyapon, equation 2, equation 3. So, unsa may constant class sa equation 1? So, start ko sa column 1. Unsa may constant sa equation 1? Okay, butang nimo 100. Dili positive na kay dapat ang constant should be isolated on the other side. So positive. Again, kung magkuan mo ha, kung mag-generate mo og matrix, dapat ang constant naka-isolate na siya sa kuan, meaning nakalahi siya sa mga variables. Okay? Okay, na-note ba? Na-note? So dapat nakakuan ha, naka-isolate na siya on the other side of the equation. Next, for equation 2. Pila may constant niya? Okay, 104 and then equation 3 that is 40. Now, okay, sakto. So for V naught, ang iyahang elements for the column V naught is i-copy ra nimo ani sa matrix C, the coefficient matrix. Imo ra i-copy. So we have 2, 4 and 6 and then for the height, i-copy ra pod 2, 2 and 2. So nasunod ra. So I hope nasunod. So proceed ta ni matrix for koan. This is matrix for initial velocity V naught. Okay, so V naught ni siya. So again here, kung inyo napansin sa pattern sa matrix A, unsa may atong entry for the first column? V naught naman ta. The same thing sa ato ang pag-solve for matrix A, di ba? Sa matrix A, gitangtang ang column sa A, gi-replace sa constant. For matrix V naught, unsa matong kanon dire? Unsa may atong first column? Okay, A gihapon. For the second, constant na. Di ba? Sakto ba? Constant. Sakto ba? And then, I'm going to put here S naught. So, nakuha rin yung pattern. Actually, mag-base ra mo sa kaning coefficient matrix. Okay, mag-base ra gyud mo sa coefficient matrix class and then tabunan na nimo ang kuan. Let's say kung manguan kag matrix for V naught, imo ra ning tangtangon ang column ni V naught, i-replace ra pod sa constant. Nakuha ang pattern. Okay, so here for column A, for the acceleration, ilista ra pod nimo the same thing with this one. So the same thing with the first. So A here is 149. For the constant, copy ra pod nimo. We already have a column for constant, 104, 104 and 40. For S naught, naapod tay 2, 2 and 2. Okay, so na tay matrix for V naught. And then finally, ngadto ta jam ta ni matrix. Okay, ato na ilisdan og lain nga color. Matrix for the height. So matrix for S naught. So this time, ang ato na pod tanggalon dire is ang S naught na pod nga column ato i-replace sa constant. So let's start with A, then we have V naught and then constant. So here for A, ato na pod ibalik sa atong entry. So we have 149. V naught is 246. The constant is 104, 104 and 40. So class, nakita na ninyo, na-follow na ninyo ang pattern. Okay, so here, ato tagsa-tagsaon pag-solve ang ilang gitawag nga determinant nga operation. So let's start with matrix C. So we're going to solve for the determinant of matrix C, that is the coefficient matrix. Now to solve for the determinant of this matrix, so this is a 3 by 3 matrix ha. For a 3 by 3 matrix, ingani ang pag-solve sa iya determinant. So kani siya, this is a shortcut method, and kani ako introduce nga method is dali ra siya matigaman. So mo nang ako ni siya gi apply sa inyo kay kung magbase mo sa books medyo libog-libog, so kani siya ang shortcut. Now to solve for its determinant class, but don't worry, maka-review mo ani kumuta na mo sa kato akong video for kanang lesson to, kay focus gito siya sa solving for the determinants of this case. So here, in order to solve for its determinant, so follow this kanang kuan, follow this arrow. So let's start with top left to bottom right. So i-multiply ning kaning maigo sa arrow, this 1 times 4 times 2. So ibutan nimo 1 times 4 times 2 plus kaya na pod. As you notice sa akong pagkuan sa first nato nga step is tulo ka elements na involved or tulo ka numbers. In the second, since top left to bottom right man ta, so dili na po the second 2 times 2. Since kuwangan siya usa, ato siya i-match diri sa last kaning 9. 2 times 2 times 9, so we have here 2 times 2 times 9. Next, si 2 na lang ang last kaning si 2. So we have here 2 times, since dapat tuluman, so we have 6 times 4. So we have plus 2 times 6 times 4. So unsa may result ni ini? I-add nimo sila. So we have 8 plus 9 times 4 is 36 plus 6 times 4 24 times 2, so we have 92. So here the answer here is 92. So i-take note sana kay di pa na mao yung determinant. So nakuha ra class. Nakuha ra ang pattern. Huwag naglibog. So ang second 1 4 9 and then 2 4 6 and then 2 2 and 2. So to get its determinant, so since kaganiha kay from top left to bottom right man tanaw ang direction paaro na to diri, this time from top right to bottom left na punta. So gikan ta diri, that is 2 times 4 times 9. So we have here 2 times 4 times 9. Next diri na punta sa kaduha, 2 times 4 times 2. Dapat tagtulo-tulo gini siya. Plus 2 times 4 times 2. Plus. This one, 1. I-pair sa usa. Sa duha, 6 times 2. So we have 1 times 6 times 2. The answer here is, this is 36. I mean, 9 times 4, 36 times 2. Plus 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16. Then the last term is 12. The answer here is 100. Okay. So, ang determinant ni ani class, the determinant here is the difference. The difference of the first, kanisiya, minus sa second, nga itong result nga nakuha. So that is 92 minus 100. The answer here is negative 8. So therefore, this is the determinant of the coefficient matrix C. Nakuha ra? Wa naglibo ka ni class?
Yes, sir.
Nakuha ra ang pattern? So tagtulo-tulo ra ha. Tulo-tulo ang pair niya imo ra ikuan. That is from nagsugod sa top left to bottom right, then top right to bottom left na pod niya. I-subtract ra silang duha. So nanatay determinant for the coefficient matrix. That is negative 8. So ato erase kay medyo limited man ang space. So ato na isuwat diri. The determinant is equal to negative 8. So let's proceed to matrix for acceleration. So matrix for acceleration, we have 104, 104, 40. Then we have 2, 4, 6. We have 2, 2, and 2. Then close. So let's start with from top left to bottom right. Again, di gito pwede ma-exchange ha. Di pwede nga ang pag-subtract nimo kay mauna tong ikaduha. Dapat magina mo nyo i-follow. Dapat magina maguna ang top left to bottom right. So again, multiply na pod 104 times 4 times 2. So 104 times 4 times 2. Next kay na pod 2 times 2 times 40 plus 2 times 2 times 40 plus next kay na pod si 2 i-paired na pod sa remaining 6 times 104. So 2 times 6 times 104. So pila may answer ani? Pila answer class? So my answer here is 2,240. Okay? 2,240. Then next, proceed ta sa from top right to bottom left. So we have here 104, 104, then 40, then 2, 4, 6, then we have 2, 2, and 2. So let's start with sa middle. So top right to bottom left. So 2 times 4 times 40. So we have here 2 times 4 times 40 plus this one 2 times 104 times 2. 2 times 104 times 2 plus 104 times 6 times 2. So we have here 104 times 6 times 2. So ato na erase times 2 ni siya. 6 times 2. Then the answer here is 8 times 40. Pila?
1,984, sir.
1,984. Okay, so 1,984. So 1,984. So again, unsa tay pag-solve sa determinant? The determinant is equal to pila usar ko tay operation? Yun sa to class?
Minus, sir.
Okay, minus ang is it 1984 minus 224 or ang inverse or ang reverse? Diba kani, diba? Okay, kani 2240 minus 1984. So we have here 2240 minus 1984. So pila? 256? 256? Oh, sakto 256. So mo na ato ang determinant for the matrix of acceleration. So what? Ato i-erase. So we have here 256. So the determinant here is equal to 256. So let's proceed for the matrix for initial velocity. So we have here 149, 104, 104, and 40. We have 2, 2, and 2. Class, same ra gid gihapon ang ato atong procedure. So top left to bottom right, 1 times 104 times 2. So we have 1 times 104 times 2. So palihog lang ko og kuan daan multiply plus this one 104 times 2 times 9. So plus 104 times 2 times 9. Then next we have 2 times 40 times 4 plus 2 times 40 times 4. So pila may answer class?
2,400.
So we have 2,400. Next, sa ikaduha na pud ta. So ang kanin mo siya class, although medyo taas-taas, but di man gud siya ingon nga libog kitaon kay naka-pattern man gud siya. Okay, if you know the pattern, mas nindot ra hapsay ra imong pag-solve. Then 104, then 104, then 40, then 2, 2, 2. So here, from top right na po to bottom left. So 2 times 104 times 9. So 2 times 104 times 9, then plus 104 times 4 times 2, plus 104 times 4 times 2, then plus 1 times 40 times 2. So 1 times 40 times 2. So the answer is, pila man? 2,784. So, unsa may determinant niini? Ang difference ra. The determinant is equals to 2,400 minus 2,784. Pila answer, class? Negative 384. So that is the determinant for our velocity nga matrix. Negative 384. So ito'y butang. Determinant here is negative 384. So last na lang ang matrix for the initial height. So ito'y suwat. We have 149. Then we have 246. We have 104, 104, and 40. So let's start. So from top left to bottom right, 1, 4, 40. So we have here 1 times 4 times 40 plus 2 times 104 times 9. So 2 times 104 times 9 plus 104 times 6 times 4. So 104 times 6 times 4. So pila man ni? 4,528. Next, last. So we have here 149, 246, then 104, 104, then 40. So from kana punta, top right to bottom left. So 104 times 4 times 9. 104 times 4 times 9 plus 2 times 4 times 40. 2 times 4 times 40 plus we have 1 times 6 times 104 plus 1 times 6 times 104. Pila may answer? 4,688. So the determinant here, pila man? The determinant 4,528 minus 4,688. Negative 160. So, ato na nakuha ang ilahang mga determinants. So, sa determinant for the last is negative 160. So, here, pwede na nato ma-apply ang Kramer's rule. Kaya na naman tayo mga determinants sa tagsa-tagsa ka mga matrix. So, let's start with solving for A. So, A is equal to the determinant of matrix A all over the determinant of the coefficient matrix. So, that is A is 256 divided by negative 8. What is the answer? Pila man, class? Negative 32, di ba? Negative 32. Then for V naught, so we have here V naught is equals to the determinant of the matrix V naught all over the determinant of the coefficient matrix C. So that is negative 384 divided by negative 8. What is the answer?
48, sir.
Okay, so 48. Positive, di ba?
Yes.
Okay, and then lastly, for the initial height, S naught is equal to the determinant of S naught all over the determinant of the coefficient matrix C. So that is negative 160 divided by negative 8. The answer, pila man?
20. 20.
Okay, so 20. Positive. That is 20. So therefore, our general equation di ay kanisiya, di ba? Wa pa man tay mga A, V naught, and S diri. So since na naman tay value, we can say nga ang atong general equation mahimo na siya og S is equals to um, S is equals to 1 half. Our A is negative 32 multiplied by t squared plus our initial velocity is 48. That is plus 48t plus the initial height is 20. So, unsay pasabot sa negative nga acceleration? Unsay pasabot niya na? That is, saman, ato ibutan diri ha, dili nato ibutang. Actually, when we say negative acceleration, may decrease ang imuhang velocity.
Going backward.
Kuan siya, may decrease iya velocity. Mo na siya ang indication sa acceleration. Ang kanang ingon nga mo pabalik siya, that is for velocity. If we have negative velocity, meaning may balik siya. For acceleration, lahi iya ha, interpretation. Kung may ka acceleration nga negative, meaning hihinay ka. Diba, ang say term, ana, proper term, that is deceleration. Nakabati naman, ana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, ako nag-simplify, this is the general equation. Negative 16t squared plus 48t plus 20. Kung pa-interpreton mo ani, kani siya, imingon, of course, ang bola, may travel pababaw, hindi decelerate siya. Meaning, ang iyang velocity may decrease at a rate of negative 16 feet per second squared. So, maunang, di gid siya mungadto sa outer space. Mo fall gid siya kay tungod kay hindi decelerate siya. Meaning, hina iyang velocity. Hangtod nga ma-zero siya. Then, the 48 here, i-positive, meaning, mo ni ang iyahang velocity sa iyang paglabay, di ba? Gilabay ang object at 48 feet per second. Unsa po rin 20? Aw gilabay day siya at initial height. Meaning, sa akong drawing dire, supposedly diri ni siya dapit. Diri siya gilabay. Nana siya initial height nga 20 feet. Okay? Nasabtan ninyo? Nasabtan ra class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ang kuan ani is
Yes, sir.
magkuan din mo practice mo solve ani sa matrix kaning determinant niya. Wala mo naglibog katong ato ang method. Wala na naglibog class. Okay, so kung wala na naglibog, then let's proceed to the last example. So, okay naman ka man eh. Wala na pangutana. Okay, so wala na pangutana. Then let's proceed to the last equation. So, we have here a curve fitting. So, kano siyang curve fitting class? Kanang kuan ni siya. This is an example wherein nagkuan tani. Let's say if we have a Cartesian coordinate system, then sa kani siya sa kani siya sa statistics ni siya nga field. Let's say na kay mga data dira nga scattered kayo. Okay? Scattered data. So di ba ang curve fitting is kaning data imo ni siya imo ni siya i-match sa unsa nga type of curve nga mo fit sa iya. Let's say in this particular nga data kanang drawing dire, meaning akong curve nga ma-generate ani is maybe kani siya. Ako i-connect ang mga points, then mano siya. So I think this is the best curve fit para sa kani nga data. Or let's try another data. Let's say nagkanda kasi mong thesis nya imong data nga na-find kay may ngani. Kay katag kayo, of course, di man jud ka maka-achieve og kanang kuan smooth nga data. So here, katag imo data. So maybe you can fit this with a straight line. So it's up to you. Maybe straight line, ana lang. Straight line. Pero of course, nagina siya mga corresponding errors. At least, imo gikuan nga ang trend aning mga data is a straight line. So, the same thing applies here. Let's say in our example, inyo madiri nga, find a quadratic equation wherein the general formula for our quadratic equation is this one. Y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, whose graph passes through the points negative 1, 3, 1, 1, and 2, 6. So, this data here, kaning negative 1, 3, 1, 1, and 2, 6, mo na siya ato ang i-fit sa ato ang quadratic equation. Now, if we're going to graph this, so negative 1, 3 daw, so possibly diri dapit sa quadrant 2. So, negative 1, 3, so diri siya. Then we have 1, 1, so 1, 1, so diri. Then we have 2, 6. Okay, 2, 6, so somewhere pababaw. So, diri 2, 6. So, this is negative 1, 3. We have 1, 1. And then this one is 2, 6. So, maybe, since yun naman siya nga i-curve, i-fit daw siya sa quadratic, so, most probably nga ni siya. So, diri diri, then, arim igo, then pababa, pataas. So, assume na ito nga quadratic ni siya, nice curve ni siya sa quadratic. So, yung ning curve fitting class. So, atong pangitaon ang value sa atong A, B, and C. Kay mo man mga unknown nga parameters. So, required here is to solve for A, B, and C. Actually, similar ni siya sa ang ikuan ganiha katatong previous kay we have given, di ba, we have 3 datas here. Di ba, ang first data is x equals to negative 1 at y is equals to 3. Second data, x is equals to 1, y is equals to 1. Ikatulo is we have x equals to 2, then y is equals to 6. So, solution. First thing, inyo buhaton diri is kuhaon nimo ang kuhaon nato ang tulo ka anon nga equation, di ba? So, for our first equation, let's start with our first equation from the first data pod. Okay? From the first data. So, sa ato equation diri so we have from our general formula for quadratic, that is y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. So, ato daw x is equals to negative 1, then ang ato daw y is negative 3. So, ato na siya is substitute. So, we now have 3 is equals to a times negative 1 squared plus b times negative 1 plus c. So, that is 3 is equals to a minus b plus c. So, this is our equation 1. So, nanatay ato ang kuan ato ang first equation. So in order to find for the second equation, so we're going to use the second data. So kaning second data nga available sa ato. So second, magbase ta sa ikaduha nga data, so kani siya diri. That is at x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 1. So x equals to 1, y is equals to 1. So we have y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. So we have 1 is equals to a times 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c. So simplifying, we have 1 is equals to a plus b plus c. So this is our equation 2. Then next, equation 3. So equation 3 still from data 3 kani, that is at x is equals to 2, then y is equals to 6. So general formula for quadratic, we have y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Then we have here y is equals to 6. So 6 is equals to a times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. 6 is equals to 4a plus 2b plus c. So this is our equation 3. So naatay tulo ka equation nga nakuha. So ato ilista. We have our first equation, we have a minus b plus c is equals to 3. The second one is a plus b plus c is equals to 1. And then the last one is we have 4a plus 2b plus c is equal to 6. Okay. So class, unsa man nga method atong kuan ani? Okay pa, okay ba mo atong katong sa matrix, Cramer's rule, or magtry taglain? Unsa man kanang okay ra to ato nga method?
Gawation.
Ha?
Itong Gaussian sir ba?
Katong Gaussian. Okay, pwede po to Gaussian elimination or katong matrices in row echelon. Pero sige, katarasang kuan Gaussian elimination. So Gaussian elimination ta ini. So since that is our given nga kana mao man atong given nga equation no. We're going to transpose this one, or we're going to convert our system of equation into a system of equation in row echelon form. So mao sa Gaussian elimination. Row echelon form. Meaning sa row echelon form, ang iyang forma is may ani na siya a plus b plus c is equals to 1. Assuming na mo ang values din. Sa second one, mahimo lang b plus c is equals to 1. Then here, c is equals to 1. Yan na ra. Meaning, as you notice, ang iya pattern kay inverted staircase. So, yan siya. A, then B, then C. So, notice niyo. And then here, sa Gaussian elimination is natay gitawag nga row operation. And I think, murag, di ba na-discuss ni nato sa lesson 1? Or, I think sa PCAS section siguro to. So, i-review na lang. Napon ni siya sa lesson 2 part 1 kaning matrices in row echelon form, pero I think nakaabot na siguro tani. So here sa atong base atong given nga equation, system of equations, we have a minus b plus c is equals to 3, then a plus b plus c is equals to 1, 4a plus 2b plus c is equals to 6. So here we're going to solve for the first entry for our equation nga naka row echelon na siya. So for the first entry, ato pangitaon sa atong given nga system of equation ang naay equation nga ang coefficient ni A is equal to 1. So asa man ano nila? Is it the first, the second, or the third? Asa man class?
Second, sir.
Second, pero pwede po ang first, di ba?
Oh, sir.
Okay, so it's up to you. Pwede second, pwede first. So, sige, second na lang. So, first entry nato sa atong row echelon is A plus B plus C is equals to 1. So, mana ito ibutang dire. Ato na lang separate. So, we have here A plus B plus C is equals to 1. So, after this, proceed ta sa ato ang second entry for row echelon. So, in order to find for the second entry, ato unang buhaton is we're going to pair equation 1 and 2. So, mana siya for the second entry, ato i-pair sa equation 1 and 2. So, ato ibutang equation 1, that is A minus B plus C is equals to 3. Equation 2 is A plus B plus C is equals to 1. So, in pairing equation 1 and 2, we are going to eliminate, okay, sa pag-pair ni ini class, ato i-eliminate si A. Nga naman, tungod kay sa second equation for row echelon, wa na si A. So, kailangan siya i-eliminate. So, eliminate nato diri. In eliminating A, unsa may best nga operation nga ato i-butang area to eliminate for A. Unsa man class? In order to eliminate A here, that is subtraction, di ba? Subtraction. So, we're going to subtract. So, mahimo na siya og makancel ni A minus A 0, negative B minus B, that is negative 2B, di ba? This one magiging negative 2B, then kani C minus C pila man? C minus C cancel na. So, plus 0 is equals to 3 minus 1, that is 2. So, therefore, sa second nga pag-pair nato, wa na is C. So, pwede ra good, but I think pwede po ni si B mabutang sa last. It's up to us. Depende yun po na sa arrangement gud ano niya. Pwede mo gud mahimog A plus C plus B. Nga malast ni si B. But anyways, ato lang po ibutang ni siya. So, we can also divide both sides by negative 2. We can divide both sides by negative 2. So, we have B is equals to negative 1. So, we can also put it here. That is B plus 0C is equals to negative 1. Next, ato na po i-pair in order to get for the third entry ha. To solve for the third entry sa atong row echelon form, dapat sa third entry is si C na lang. Dapat C is equals to 1. Ingani ba? Or C is equals to any constant. Not necessarily nga C is equals to 1. C is equals to any constant. So, in order to solve for the third entry, ato na po i-pair pair equation 1 and 3 na po. Human naman gutag pair sa equation 1 and 2. And then, eliminate na po si A. I-eliminate na nato si A kay tungod kay sa third equation sa row echelon wa naman gi A. Kay after ma-eliminate si A, mangita na po taglang equation para ma-eliminate na po si B. So, pairing A and pairing equations 1 and 3. So we have a minus b plus c is equals to 3. Then we have 4a plus 2b plus c is equals to 6. So sa ibato na to ani. Here I'm going to multiply the first equation by 4. Para yuman ni siya og 4a minus 4b plus 4c is equals to 3. Then sa ubos 4a plus 2b plus c is equals to 6. So here I'm going to subtract, diba? Sakto ba class? Ato i-subtract. Okay, para ma-eliminate ni si 4a, diba? Ma-0 na siya. So ang sunod is kani, negative 4 minus 2, that is negative 6b. The next, 4 minus c, that is plus 3c is equals to this one, this is 9. So, naana tay equation nga negative 6b plus 3c is equals to 9. Now, for me class, solving for kani siya, solving for c. Pwede si b diri class imo i-substitute dira para makasolve na ta ni c. Then, nanatay value sa c. Then, ato na siya i-substitute sa atong equation 1 sa row echelon. Diri kaning a plus b plus c. Pwede pod. But, para nindot tan-awon pod ang ato ang row echelon, I suggest nga inganiw na to pagporma. So, diri we have a plus c plus b is equals to 1. Para ang kani, mo na siya ato'y plug in sa ikaduha para maka-achieve gyapon ani nga staircase. Pero ako ra good kung gusto mo magdali mo, so pwede ra pod ni. So para makuha nato ang row echelon, ato ipauli si b. So here, solving for c diri so we're going to divide both sides or multiply both sides by 1/3. So we now have c minus 2b is equals to 3. So nanataan ni. Then ato na ibutang nga ria. So we now have c minus 2b is equal to 3. Then since naman tay b diri from the second entry, that is b is equal to negative 1. Nakuha rin yung class? So this is now the system of equation in row echelon form. So naka row echelon form na siya. Nasabtan na? Class, nasabtan na ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, since na naman tay system of equation in row echelon form, then we can directly do back substitution. So, meaning, ang b is substitute array para makuha si c. Then, ang value ni c is substitute na po sa first equation. The same thing with value ni b para makuha si a. So, let's do that. So, ato sa ni-erase diri nga lower part. So, here, solving for kanta. Solving for c. So, we have in equation 2, we have c minus 2b is equals to 3. So, b is equals to negative 1. So, c minus 2 times negative 1 is equals to 3. That is c plus 2 is equals to 3. So, c is equals to 3 minus 2. Ako get-transpose. So, we have c is equals to 1. So, we now have value for c. And, by going to equation 1 so that we can solve for a, so we need to substitute the value of c and b. So, we have in equation 1 a plus c plus b is equals to negative 1. So, we have a, c is 1, then b is negative 1 is equals to 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0, di ba? So A is equal to 1. So therefore, ang solution nato, our solution here is we have starting with A that is 1, B is negative 1, and C is 1. And the general equation that will fit this data, kaning data na ang mga points, kaning tulo, ang fit niya quadratic equation is y is equals to ax squared ax squared plus bx plus c. So ato is substitute ang value ni A, that is y is equals to x squared, ang b kay negative, so minus x, ang c, that is plus 1. So this is our final answer. Nakuha ra? Nakuha ra, class?
Yes, sir.
So, kung gusto mo nga i-verify ninyo using kato akong gi-present ninyo tong sa previous katong Kramer's rule nga nag-involve og matrix, same ra gyud gihapon inyo makuha ang answer. Anyways, kamo ray bahala kung asa mo mas kampante. Okay? So, wala na pangutana ni. Wala na pangutana.